Africa. Two questions on Africa. There was a ceasefire last week in Sudan, but there's still war and havoc. And the UN says that with these strikes on Khartoum, uh, they're at a breaking point. Could you talk about still working to establish or keep that ceasefire as the fighting is going, the humanitarian efforts, and the evacuation progress or hurdles that you're having getting Americans out?
So look, we're going to continue to have those conversations. The national security, his senior national security team has been in direct contact with the SAF and the RSF leadership, the generals, to urge them to end hostilities immediately without conditions. And we're consulting very closely with regional and other partners. That is something that has been ongoing for some time now. We urge the SAF and the RSF to fully uphold and extend the ceasefire, and those are the conversations that we're having. I just laid out earlier with Phil what we're doing as the evacuation is moving forward of Americans who do indeed want to leave. I just don't have anything more to add to that, but there are high-level conversations that continue to happen with our national security team.
Americans that want to leave, we understand that there are about 1,000 right now out of 16,000. What is the deadline for Americans to say, I want to leave? And what are the efforts going to be if they change their mind, if there is a deadline and they change their mind and war happens?
Look, all I can say, the environment is fluid, and Americans, as we all know, do not always, and I just mentioned this to Phil, contact the U.S. government before their departure. So we don't have a precise number. Again, it's very fluid. But I just laid out that there's been about 1,000 departures. No, I understand 1,000 American citizens, but again, the numbers are fluid. This is the number that we do know of. Again, it's fluid. Not every American who's there tells us when they're leaving, and our focus has been and remains being helping as many U.S. citizens and as possible who want to depart, who wish to do so safely as possible in a way that reduces the risk as well. So that's going to be our focus.
And last question on Africa. Pretty much many of the administration officials have traveled to Africa, to include the vice president.
Mhm.
You said the president was going to travel at the end of the year. Do you have anything new to tell us? And where could he possibly be headed to?
So as you've seen this commitment from this administration on Africa, you were there and covered the leader summit that we had back in December. So there is a strong commitment to the continent. As you just mentioned, the vice president went. We've seen secretaries of different of agency go to Africa as well, and the first lady went to the continent as well and visited and shared our commitment to the continent. I don't have any date or any location, specific country that the president will be visiting in the continent. But as we have said many times, the president does plan to travel sometime this year. When we have an update, we certainly will share it with all of you.